The next thing we need to cover in conditional statements is to talk about counterexamples. Now, counterexamples are concerned about the truth statement of your conditional statements. So, the truth value. So, what they are is there's something that proves a conditional statement to be false. So, a counterexample proves a conditional statement to be false. It does so by confirming the hypothesis and negating the conclusion. So, if we're thinking about this in terms of symbolic format, our regular conditional statement is P implies Q, right? P implies Q. Our counterexample will do P implies not Q. And here's why. When we talk about conditional statements, what we're saying is if this thing happens, the P part, then every single time the Q thing will happen. So to prove that it's false, we need to say if the P part happens, not every single time the Q part will happen. We don't need to prove that it never happens. We don't need to prove what happens if we don't have P. What we need to do is say we do have P and we get not Q in some cases, and we come up with specific examples that then work as counterexamples. Sorry, tripping on my words here. All right, so let's take a look at this conditional statement. If you charge your Chromebook, then it will turn on. So P implies Q. If you charge your Chromebook, then it will turn on. Can we think of a counterexample to a case where our Chromebook wouldn't turn on? Well, how about this? What if our Chromebook, we charge our Chromebook, but it's a broken Chromebook? You dropped it, and the screen cracked, and it won't turn on anymore. There's more than one reason why a Chromebook might not turn on. You could charge the battery all day, but if it's broken internally, it's not going to charge. So if you try to charge a broken Chromebook, it won't turn on. So that would be a broken Chromebook would be an example of a counterexample. It's something that confirms the hypothesis. You could charge it, but then the conclusion is negated. It still won't turn on no matter how long you charge it. Let's look at one more. If you walk in the rain, then you will get wet. So can we think of a way that we could walk in the rain but not get wet? And again, confirm the hypothesis, negate the conclusion. How about if you walk with an umbrella? Okay? So if you walk with an umbrella, then you won't get wet even though it's raining. So these are pretty simple examples. In real life, actually, it gets a little bit more challenging when you're dealing with logical arguments. But again, the key part to remember that I've repeated, and I'll repeat one more time, you confirm the hypothesis, you negate the conclusion. Find something that's true for the first piece but false for the second piece, and that will get you a counterexample.